So it's the Monday morning over here in the Netherlands, and what better way than to start this week than with my favorite matchup in StarCraft 2, a best-of-5 series between two players that are at the tippity-top of the skill level. Spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of Pillars of Gold and playing with the blue Terran SCVs from South Korea, we have none other than TY. Although apparently in this game he's going under the name of TY. Fun fact, the reason why that is because there's a character limit, so there's a character maximum, but also a character minimum, and it turns out you have to have at least 3 characters in your nickname. Apparently he decided to just double up. I guess that's the solution. His opponent in the opposite corner with the blue, the red, that's the color red, right? Yeah. The red Zerg drones from Finland. We have the player who's considered to be the greatest of all time, and his nickname is Serral. Alrighty, now do I really need to give you more introduction on Serral? Just take it from me, he's real good at StarCraft. I mean, he's looked a little bit more mortal over the last half year or so, but if you were to ask me, I still consider him to be the greatest SC2 pro gamer right now. The guy's ridiculous, he's still making progress, he's looking good in all matchups. Maybe not as strong in Zerg versus Zerg as he used to once upon a time, but I mean, it's still ZVZ, right? I mean, ZVZ is a bit of a shaky matchup for pretty much everyone out there, but Serral certainly is no slouch whatsoever. Now, TY is one of those players that I don't cast games of very often. He's going for a command center first, by the way. A little bit ballsy. I like it. I don't cast that many TY games, and the simple reason for that is the fact that he doesn't really participate in a whole lot of events that actually release their replay packs. So one of the tournaments that he regularly plays in is the GSO Code S. In case you're unfamiliar, it's the highest level tournament over in South Korea. And the reason why I think it's actually the hardest tournament to win overall in SC2 is because it takes course not just it takes place not just over the course of like a weekend, but over the course of like 3 months at a time. Meaning that you know who you're going to be playing in advance, and you can actually be preparing against that opponent specifically for quite some time as well. So TY in 2020 won 2 out of 3 of the GSL Codesses, and in the second one he made it to the semifinals. So I mean, you know, if you needed any more intel, the guy is very good at playing this video game. Now, one thing that I always really liked... Is he gonna go 3rd CC? Oh my god. So wait, he went command center on the low ground. Then he went barracks as a follow-up. Reactor on the frickin' barracks. So he has got no attacking unit at all. And now already a 3rd CC? This is TY playing the opponent. Definitely not the matchup. I don't recommend you do this on the ladder. But I actually really like this against Serral. Alrighty, so one thing I always like telling about TY... is that he really is what I would consider to be a lifelong pro gamer. Look at this, by the way. Serral's scouting for proxies. There's no proxies happening, my man. I mean, it's proxy macro, I guess, if that's the thing. This is macro cheese. One thing that I like telling about TY is that he really is a lifelong, you know, pro gamer. And the reason why I say that is because he's currently 26 years old, right? And he joined We Made Fox, a pro gaming team, back in 2006. There you go. I'm not going to do math. You can calculate it yourself if you want to, but let's just say that this guy has been, you know, a professional gamer for basically all of his life. Like, literally more than half. That's... it's pretty insane. Now, in StarCraft 1, which is obviously what he played back then, he used to go under the nickname of Baby for very good reason, because he was literally a kid. I mean, not a baby, I guess, but... Now, Serral also opening up very macro-focused here. He has decided to go for the pneumatized carapace. So the pneumatized carapace upgrade does give him the potential to get that Overlord speed done. So this guy, all of a sudden, will find the gas pedal. I don't know how it works either, but all of a sudden he can float real fast. There's extra helium in the balloon or something. I don't know how this works either. Although it's sideways helium. I guess also known as momentum. Anyways, I do know, by the way, who ends up winning this series, because it was played during the DreamHack Last Chance tournament. But it's a really good one, so... I mean, I didn't really get to watch the games closely. I'm excited to figure out exactly what ended up going down here. Now, I really like this build, though, from TY. I mean, this is as greedy as you can possibly open up. So, to put it in perspective, Terran, generally speaking, opens up, well, depot into barracks, right, into gas, then into command center on the low ground. However, in this particular game, TY cut a corner first off by going for the command center on the low ground right away. This obviously loses against pretty much all of the aggressive Zerg openers. So if Zerg, for example, decides to go for a pull first, that's basically game over, right? Then he followed it up So most of the time we see Terran players following it up with a barracks into a factory into a starport, right? Couple Hellions, maybe a Liberator, and then a third CC. Or they will go barracks into factory into third CC into starport. I know this is getting rather technical, but what TY ended up doing here is that he went for the freaking third command center before planting down a factory. So he went command center, barracks, third CC, then into additional tech. So this is ridiculously greedy. Not something you ever want to play on the ladder, but I'm a fan. So what exactly does Serral do? I don't actually know if I like this follow-up, to be honest. He decided to go for a couple additional gases. He's already got the fourth base coming up. Usually the reason why you go for a quick lair is because of bailing speed, but he doesn't really need bailing speed here, right? He probably may have misread it, though. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't see the third command center there until the very end, when he already committed to the lair in the first place. He's gonna go for a drop alert. Oh, okay. Did he get a lair just for the drop alert? Huh. So you do need a lair in order to actually change this regular overlord into a guy that can hold a couple of units. Did TY spot this? Very impressive stuff. All right. At the same time, there's a couple of Marines over here over at the fourth base of the Zerg. But, I mean, they're not going to be able to get a whole lot done. Yeah, so look at this. The lair is basically pointless up to this point, right? So now he finally starts up the bailing upgrade. So probably a little bit concerned by the opener from what he scouted initially. And all of a sudden he was like, wait a second. It was an extremely greedy build. I really don't need the lair yet, but now I've already committed, so canceling is kind of pointless. Anyhow. Bailing speed obviously is the most important upgrade in the earlier game for Zerg. It's the I don't want to die to stupid stuff kind of opener. Together with creep spread, right? You can connect against those pesky Marines with Stimpack much, much easier. Speaking of which, they're going to be finishing up their combat shield upgrade real quick. You never know how this works either. Watch this, right? So in 10 seconds time, these guys will magically find a shield in their back pocket. Look at it. Here they come. Oh, there it is. Did you see it? It's one of the top 10 things that science can't explain. All of a sudden, they're like, wait a second. Plus 10 hit points. Let's go. Sometimes I see people asking, Lowko, do you think that upgrades shouldn't apply to existing units, but only to new units? I mean, it's a science fiction video game, right? It's not particularly realistic. It would really suck if upgrades didn't apply to existing units already, because that would completely negate all timing attacks, which is what a lot of StarCraft strategy comes down to. But it's it is a little bit funny sometimes. So, ooh. Bailing drops inside of the main base. Remember that drop alert from earlier? Terran players not quite used to dealing with drops, so 12 SCVs end up going down. That being said though, this creep spread over here is really not looking that good, although there's not that many Marines either. I do love the fact that a couple Marines have stayed behind. Serral's gonna try and sandwich this army. Is there gonna be enough Zerg right now though to overwhelm this? Those siege tanks in absolutely valuable positions. There's a couple more Marines stimming across the map right now. Looks like the siege tank over there will be cleaned up, but this one now has 26 kills. Additional Marines have stimmed forward. They're gonna try and close the distance. More links trying to pick up those reinforcing units, but this fourth base is actually in some trouble. Would love to see another base in the top left-hand corner instead, so Zerg can actually evacuate this, because these tank positions are super hard to break. Now, I like this, yeah. Reinforcing units get picked off for relatively cheap, but this is a brilliant scenario right now, though, for TY, assuming he can get the kill right here on that hatchery. If he gets the kill, that would be fantastic. Zerg is also transitioning towards Hydraling Bane. Hydras, though, not that good against just Marines, right? They need the support of the Lings and the Banes. Here come the bad boys. Can you please right-click on that hatchery? There you go, buddy. Thank you. I was getting a little anxious there. You were forgetting it. I've seen that happen many times before. Not very common anymore in 2021, but still something worth noting. Every once in a while, a hatchery lives with like 10 hit points, and there were a bunch of Marines right next to it. So all of a sudden now, TY, yeah, look at this. He's got a supply advantage, and he's gonna go into the fourth command center. Considering the fact that the first three bases were very quick, the fourth is actually rather late. So Zerg decided to go. So this is something that I don't actually know if I like macro hatcheries anymore. So usually what Zergs end up doing is that when they go for a fourth base, shortly after it, they will follow it up with a macro hatch, right? Now the macro hatchery is basically just here to generate larvae. So larvae are, when you think about it, like a resource for Zerg, right? So you have minerals, gas, but you also have larvae. Because Lings and Banes are really cheap when it comes to the resources, but really expensive when it comes to the larvae, right? So if you play a Ling Bane based style, you usually will need an extra larva generating structure, right? And well, either that's going to be, well, I guess queens aren't structures, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? Either it's going to be a hatchery or additional queens. Now, it's become really popular, and I believe Serral actually is one of the players that popularized it, but rather than taking the macro hatchery, a lot of Zerg players like taking a secondary fifth, or a secondary fourth rather, also known as a fifth, instead. So I would have loved to see this macro hatchery being taken in the top left-hand corner rather than inside of the main base, just because if this fourth would have fallen, right, which it did, you can transfer the drones then to that other base and not really lose that much income. I don't know why, you know, you wouldn't go for the fifth instead. Now this base though, yeah, Pillars of Gold is a tricky map to play for Zerg specifically because of this reason. Nice control right here by TY, forces the council once again. And look at the creep spread, right? Serral hasn't really been bad on the creep spread. He's just been pushed back all the time. One big advantage right now that TY has as well is the fact that he's got 3-3 coming up. Zerg doesn't even have a hive yet, so this is going to be some mid-game Zerg going up against some very, very powerful Marines. Spawning pool here will be picked off as well. Very nice targeting right there by TY. Losing the spawning pool, actually, it's one of those structures that takes an awful lot of time. Like when you have to rebuild it. He actually does have to rebuild it. Okay, good micro over here. Does he realize it? He doesn't have a... Hello. I don't think Serral realizes that he doesn't have a spawning pool. Hello. He still hasn't started one up. There it is. Okay, he finally starts it right now. Luckily here, Serral actually took a very strong engagement here in the middle of the map. I'm not entirely sure why TY decided to stick around for that long. He's gonna follow this up with a ton of Hydras that are really powerful though in these straight up battles. Existing Zerglings can still be morphed into Banelings as well, but it's just gonna be Hydras right now as a follow-up. Well, you know what? If you have enough Ling Bane left over, I guess that's totally fine, right? All of a sudden, you know what? I was getting a little bit worried here for Serral, but... Alright, he's just blowing everything up. He's like, yeah, no problem. I'll just make like 20 additional Hydra lists. Now, with it, without the Ling Bane support, though, these Hydras do become rather weak. But, I mean, Serral just absolutely broke that position. Oh, what? Hello. What's... Huh? I don't think this is the kind of innovation I would like to see in StarCraft 2. I don't know. I'm just gonna come out and say it, that sending like 10 SC... Serral has no chill. He didn't need to lose the Banelings, didn't lose the Banelings for that, but... I don't think... I'm just gonna come out and say it, that we need to see SCVs fighting drones at the 12.5-minute mark. I don't think that might be the best scenario to be in if you're a Terran player. TY probably panicked, sent them somewhere out on the map. Attack moved them, and then all of a sudden they found themselves in the top left. Like, what, sir? You run out of Marines? Alright, so Terran is going to finish up 3-3, but I mean... Did he lose the... Sorry, I've been kind of sloppy here on the observing, it feels like. Did he lose the Hydra then? Oh, yeah, he did. There's been a lot of things going on in this game so far. Look, guys, I said it was Monday, right? I'm just a one-man production team, okay? Here come the Medivects once again. My eyes are now just on the minimap, okay? I'm not gonna be looking at anything else anymore. Look at this. You see that? Look at these excellent observing skills. Whoa. Whoa. Epic action shots. Whoa. Whoa. Now this will be cleaned up. Oh, whoa. Look at this. Okay, I don't want to make you nauseous, though, but... These units will be pushed back, the ones inside of the main base. Ugh. Also, mostly get sniped, actually. Losing the Medivacs is really painful. How many Medivacs have we seen go down? 9, yeah. I've seen quite a few go down. That's 9 too many, really. Like, you don't want to lose any of them. This base on the low ground is tricky for Zerg to acquire, especially when Terran has a planetary fortress over here. But since TY just could push back from this location, yeah, he's even now, aiming to probably take the base in the bottom right-hand corner, although if it's up to Serral, that's never gonna happen. So Serral, by the way, still sitting at Lartech, right? So he never actually transitioned towards the Hive here. I'm starting to get a little bit worried for that. Main command center right now is floating on over as well towards that location. That means it's not a planetary. Looks like Serral, though, is just going to try and flood this base. There we go. The Zerg Swarm is once again being unleashed. Siege tanks get sniped very early on. There's still one over there in the back as well. No Vipers, obviously. No Adrenal Glands. No Ultralisks. None of that. Serral fully intends on winning with this push right over here because he doesn't have much of a follow-up other than more of the same. Now, obviously, if you can bleed your opponent out on 4 bases, that's pretty good. And I think he's even going to be able to snipe one of these bases if he continues targeting it. Yeah, Hydras actually don't mess around when it comes to just, you know, hitting structures and whatnot. They're very powerful units. Nice push right there by Serral, all things considered. You can see, though, that these fights are starting to be less and less efficient just because of the fact that Terran is just trading much better with these 3-3 units. So Terran, in order to get the 3-3 upgrades, just need an armory. So they need an armory to go 2-2, and they can straight into 3-3. It's one of the beautiful, like, I actually really like that. It's one of the beautiful, like, how would you say that? Non-symmetric? I don't know. Asymmetric balance philosophies that they went with in StarCraft 2. It's really cool. Ooh, saves the tank. Very nice. Still, though, I'm looking at this and I'm still a little concerned, right? Like, now, all of a sudden, we have Command Center number 2. That's the one that he made at, like, the 30-second mark. The one that was previously in the natural expansion. It's a very swarmy game. I feel like, once again, there's a surround being set up right now by Serral. Oh, well, maybe not. He's just going to try and run into the main base instead, or at least overwhelm the units over here in the natural expansion. Ugh. Now, this would be very different if these units were maxed out. At the same time, though, we do have Terran. Now also being forced to deal with a massive Zerg onslaught. TY is not that high when it comes to the supply count. The question is, does he have enough right now to ward off all of these Banelings? And you know what? I don't think there is enough. Interesting game right there by Serral that just barely went in his favor. Alrighty, so game number 2, we find ourselves on a Lightshade. Fun fact about Lightshade, this is, together with Submarine, the smallest map in the current map pool. So the rush distance from natural to natural is literally identical to that of Submarine. Even though, like, you know Submarine, like the underwater one? Well, I guess it's not underwater. It's like yellow. It's like a yellow submarine, you know? Someone should make a song about that. Anyways, the rush distance from base to base is identical. Meaning that even though this map feels much bigger when you play on it, probably because of, like, this... I don't know, you don't really expand towards your opponent as much. You, like, expand kind of away from your opponent. Even though like, the map feels much bigger to play on, cheeses are just as powerful. Do you think Serral's gonna mix it up in this game? Nah. I mean, after seeing his opponent went very greedy in game number 1, I wouldn't have minded like a 16 pool or something along those lines. Anyways, we'll see. TY, though, in this particular game, obviously not doing the exact same build. Although I kind of would have liked to see him do the exact same thing once again. I actually do think he was in a really good spot, though. Yeah. There was this big fight right after he killed the spawning pool of his opponent where things went a little worse. I also really didn't like the timing of the 4th CC so much, because while he was super eager getting the 3 command centers out, I mean, maybe because of that, he decided to delay the 4th for quite a while, but I don't know. Anyways, here we go. Orbital command will start up, a Reaper will start up as well, and we're going to be seeing the command center here on the low ground. This is about as conventional as you can open up right now as a Terran player in StarCraft 2. He's also going to be sending the SCV across the map. This really is just here to confirm the timing of the hatchery. So when you get to the other side of the map, with the SCV, you get the, you know, the green flag, I suppose, to go across the map as well with the Reaper. Small move that's often forgotten, actually, by ladder players. So the reason why you want to do this is just so you know that it's not a pool first. And if you know that it's not a pool first, then you can also, you know, send the Reaper across. If it would be a pool first and you don't send out this SCV and you do send out the Reaper straight across, a couple Zerglings kill this SCV on the low ground, and that's like... it's a disaster. Terrans basically need this command center, not just like for the economy and the orbital command and all that, right? But also for the supply count. Otherwise you hit a supply block. So if it... yeah, it's just bad. Just take it from me, okay? If you're a Reaper player... Oh, you know what? Yeah, nicely done. Gets a kill. SCV, it's patrolling over there. Now, I've noticed this actually from the Korean Zergs. The Korean Zergs are fond of taking the third in the vertical position. However, TY, yep, there we go. He will now find out that there was already a drone down on the low ground. And it's going to be, it's going to be building the base right over there. So the SCV basically wasting a bunch of mining time over there. So, I don't know. Like, I've been playing both of these variants, right? So I've been playing the one where you take the third base over here and then the fourth base on the low ground. I've been playing the one where you take the third base over here and then the fourth base up there. And I've been playing the one more recently, and I wonder which one Serral is going to go for, where you take the third base over here, and then you take the fourth down below it. Now, one reason why I like that approach quite a bit currently is that you can have all of this area covered in creep, and even though Terran can go for some scary pushes from right behind this area, right, like siege tanks up there and like behind the rocks and stuff, if you kill the rocks, I mean, you don't really have to fight it, right? Like, that's first off the big thing. Like, this is not, like, if you put a siege tank up there, it's not going to be in range of the hatchery. But if you kill the rocks over here, it's very difficult for Terran to get a proper engagement off. If you compare it to this choke point and then, like, the base down here, I mean, it's much easier for Terran players to push into. So, we'll see here where the Zerg is going to go. Once again, by the way, pretty quick third command center here from TY. Not as fast as in the last game, but fast nonetheless. It's going to be an opener here. Oh, I like this. You see him starting up the cloaking upgrade. It's going to be an opener here right around, or based around Banshees. So I think the first... Wait, did he make a Banshee? Oh, no, he must have cancelled it. Okay. Yeah, he must have... Okay, yeah, that was a little bit odd. He was making a Banshee earlier, I'm pretty sure. And then he cancelled it, made a Viking, and started up the cloaking upgrade. Next level plays. It makes sense when you think about it for a little bit longer than just like half a second. So since you know your opponent is going to be Overlord scouting, right? Once again. Since you know your opponent is going to be Overlord scouting, the Banshees likely won't get a whole lot of damage done. But you still want your opponent to be forced to go Spore Crawlers anyway. Oh, this is a good scout, actually. Good follow-up scout here from Serral. You want your opponent ideally to go Spore Crawlers anyway, so there it is. 3 spores were started up. So you start up the little green light in the tech lab to make your opponent think that it was going to be a Banshee as a follow-up. And then one nice move that TY made as well is that when the Overlord went back in, right over there, right? He like flew another Overlord in while it was being attacked. He started up another Viking temporarily. Just to show that his opponent once again was expecting something secondary out of the Stargate, or Starport rather. And then, you know, when the Overlords were both gone, he swapped them over. Or actually, did he do that? No, he did it with the first Overlord going down, but he swapped them over there to continue building a bunch of those add-ons. Anyways, a lot of mind games being played here. The end result being that TY had to put up a couple resources here and there, put him stuck in an upgrade that he wasn't actually going to be using, then canceled it a little while later, but he forced out a few of those spores. You know what? Oh, no, wait. What? Where are the spores? Did he cancel all of them? Wow. Every mineral count. Or counts. Alright. Every mineral count. For some reason, that seemed like a good sentence to me. Oh, yeah. Alright. Dude, Serral's relentless with scouting. It's actually insane. Like, even if you compare it to, for example, Raynor, or if you compare it to, like, Dark or Rogue, right? Like, the other top-level Zergs. Raynor's, or Serral's really relentless when it comes to just getting that scouting intel. Apparently, he's fond of playing Hydroling Bane right now. Interesting. So one nice thing about Hydroling Bane is that you can transition towards Lurkerling Bane, right? And Lurkerling Bane is real scary. That being said, it seemed like Serral was perfectly fond in the previous game to stick around on, you know, the Hydroling Bane style for quite some time. I casted a game on Death Aura, right? Was it Death Aura? Between Sol and Raynor a couple of days ago. And it was very obvious that Raynor is still very fond of going Mutaling Bane. Not entirely sure why Hydroling Bane is the preferred choice right here for Serral. Huh. So, the thing about Hydroling Bane is that your opponent starts making siege tanks, right? The thing about Mutaling Bane is that you will pretty much always see Widow Mines instead of siege tanks, right? And I guess it's preferable to go up against siege tanks rather than Widow Mines? I'm not entirely sure, though. It's a tricky scenario to be in, for sure. Alright, so once again, Macro game over here. Serral did, by the way, take the 4th base on the 6 o'clock position. Here's that push that I was talking about. Now, luckily here for Serral, he already broke through these rocks just fine. He has a lot of units ready to go for the surround as well. There's even more coming up, though. Alright, here comes the sandwich. It's a Zerg sandwich! Is there gonna be enough right here to break through all of this, though? That's really not that many Zerglings. There's 30 more just about to finish up, but I think there might be enough. Yep. TY's position gets broken, and that's massive. This basically means right now that Serral can do whatever he likes. Apparently what he likes to do is grab the 5th base right here on the right-hand side of the map. He's gonna start up the +2 upgrades. Macro hatchery inside of the main base as well. Alrighty. Wouldn't be surprised to see an infestation pit very shortly as well, so he can tech soon towards a hive. His opponent on the other end, what exactly do you do right now if you're a Terran player? Well, you basically don't do much. Well, you can try and threaten your opponent for a little while longer, I suppose. There's the infestation pit, by the way. You can threaten your opponent, I guess, for a little bit longer, but really you have to wait until your 2-2 upgrades are done before you can really commit once more. The problem is if you send a lot of your units across... Ooh, I actually think Serral could have committed there. He didn't know exactly how many units were on that high ground, obviously, but... yeah, decides to go after the rocks instead. This is a very good position right now for the finisher. By the way, I saw someone in the comment section of a previous video saying, Lowko, as someone from Finland, we're not called... we're not called finishers. We're called Finns. I was like, okay. No worries, bro. Finisher is one of the nicknames, though, that Serral has had for a while now. Which I think is a pretty, it's a pretty good one, because he doesn't really lose grand finals. He's a very good finisher, you know? But anyway. Oh. Like, I've noticed over the years as someone who makes content that you can really easily upset people. Okay, here's another example. A couple days ago, I posted on my Instagram story. You should go follow me, by the way. It's at LowkoTV. I posted a couple days ago on my Instagram story that I made Grandmaster League once again. And then I made a little follow-up video when people asked which server it is on. I said, well, I mean, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, I suppose, but I did get GM on the North American server. And it turns out, me saying that offended a whole bunch of Americans. Now, the reason why... Ooh, this is actually really big. Okay. What? Poor Hydralisk, man! What did that Hydra ever do? A little bit of misfiring there by Serral. But it turns out if you want to get Grandmaster on the NA server, it's literally like 500 MMR easier than on EU, right? So it's just... what I'm trying to say is if you're on the internet as someone who makes stuff, right? Even when you don't really discuss politics and religion and like sensitive subjects pretty much ever, you still offend people even when you completely don't mean to. It's 2021, I guess. Here comes the big Terran push, though. 2-2 is done. He's going very deep onto the creep. Now, I like the idea because he knew that a lot of Serral's units were on the other side of the map, but they can also just come home. That was very risky, though, by TY. He saw that there were units over at the 4th base on the left-hand side, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna move all the way onto the creep, scan, kill whatever I can, and then back off again. Don't know if I like it, though. Because Zerg units are real fast. Much faster than those Marines. Especially since Serral has a line of creep. Connecting basically as much as he can. Ooh, okay, well. Oh, yeah. Pushing up to that high ground might be a little bit overly ambitious. That's one of the ways that the Terran player can get back into this game quite easily. Now, Hive is done. Vipers are going to be coming out. We see the Ultralisk Cavern done here as well. Adrenal Glands +3. I mean, this is going to be one mighty Zerg army. It's basically the same as in last game, but much better. Adrenal Glands in particular. This is a attack speed improvement. So it's finishing up very soon for the Zerglings. And I believe it amounts to like 38% or something along those lines. It's ridiculous. So once the Zerglings are fighting, especially with +3 melee, they will get some work done. Oh, looks like there may have been a bit of a pause in the game. Now I'm curious. Hold up. Can we have a look? Go. Ready. Go. 3, 2, 1. Ah, can't. Serral thought for a second that maybe he was the referee. Nope. Only referees can unpause games. Can you be a referee in StarCraft 2 if you're not wearing one of those, like, black and white checkered shirts? Even if it's online. Like, I want them to be wearing those referee shirts, okay? They need to have, like, red cards and yellow cards and whatnot as well. That'd be fantastic. Now, jokes aside, though, this game is progressing quite nicely. I'm still really loving this position here for Serral. Look at the bank that he's got as well, by the way. But TY is maxed right now. The problem is, with this big of a bank, Zerg can just, yeah, right-click on that base. Planetary Fortress is gone. He might lose the expansion up here, and that would kind of suck for him. But he does have Blinding Clouds available, or Abductions. Yeah, there you go. On the high ground, no more. Oof, Serral's really good, man. I was getting concerned for this base for him. Can you believe it? Vipers are so strong. Like, you just need a couple of them. And about 100 APM to control them reasonably well. But once you have all of those, yeah, you can really make very good use of them. Taking this 5th base is going to be real hard. Terran's now also reproducing a 4th. But, yeah, we're still seeing 3-base economy going up against, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-base Zerg. Last time I checked, 6 is more than 3. I don't know though, man. Never doing math in a video ever again. After making a fool out of myself many times in the past, I'm never doing it again. But I'm pretty sure that 6 is bigger than 3. This time around, it's a Blinding Cloud. Don't know why. Could have easily abducted those, but it's fine. Same result, I suppose, except more energy cost. 5th base, though, has been acquired at the... What is that? Like the 11 o'clock position. You know what? I think that this base will get picked off. Yeah, nicely done. Maybe Serral can consider taking this base over here, because he will probably need another expansion. Oof. The only problem, though, is that right now, TY... Ooh, look at these banelings. Yeah, he's targeting. Oh, dude. Nice Blinding Cloud there as well. TY was manually retargeting with the siege tanks to the middle clumps here. But here's the problem, right? Like, this is not a planetary fortress. So, even though planetaries are not super hard to push into for a Zerg, orbital commands are real easy. A couple Ultralisks are coming up. There was a Lurker then as well. Serral apparently getting every single piece of tech that he can find. Might even add on a Spire. Base got lifted up, then repositioned in a worse position. But TY is not going to continue mining there for a little while longer anyway, I don't think. I mean, he could try. So this is interesting, though. Serral's going both Lurker Den and Ultra Cavern. The Ultras and the Lurkers kind of serve a very similar function. So it's curious to me that he's getting both. Especially when he's really not that rich, right? Like, he's got a bank. He's got a good eco. But, I mean, right now, you know what? TY has made a game out of this. A couple minutes ago, he was on 3 bases. Right now, he's on 5. So he secured himself 2 new expansions, which is massive. This one is a planetary, so most of his defenses are going to have to be focused up north. You know what? He's still spread extremely thinly. Like, he just doesn't have the amount of supply here that Serral has. He's got to be so careful. Okay, here once again comes the Zerg Swarm. One of the Viper gets sniped, or Vipers get sniped. Ooh, good targeting there with the siege tank. At the same time, Zerg is once again moving over here, but this is now, like, he can't kill the planetary. That's not the problem. It's just that it's real expensive. Like, that was basically the bank that Serral had that he's gonna have to spend now. He's taking 2 new bases over here as well, but these are very much so expanding towards the Terran side of the map. Yeah, I thought he had to spend more of his bank than that. Zerglings are pretty cheap, I suppose. Right now, though, Zerg can start focusing all of their reinforcements up here. TY still has to, like, hold on to this part of the map, and the reason for that is if he doesn't, like, have at least some units here to defend, Zerg is just going to start running into the main base and the natural expansion instead. It's, like, one of the hardest things you have to do as a Terran player at this point in the game is making sure that you are actually taking control of the map, right? Like, you have to dedicate units in certain places. Now, once again, here comes the Swarm. There are a couple of Ghosts. Somehow, some way, they maneuvered themselves away from all of those Banelings, but siege tanks are falling. Marines and Marauders is all that remains right now here for the Terran. Ultras are not super strong, though. Yeah, they can actually deal a bunch of damage, but here's the problem, though. Once again, another base gets sniped, and Serral's still happily mining however many expansions he wants. This is forcing TY into an all-in. He's decided to now leave all of his bases alone. He unsieged all of the tanks. So while I mentioned that, you know, there were a bunch of siege tanks unsieging, apparently he took a rough fight up here, and yep, there it is. Serral wins another match. Alrighty, so the next map in this best of 5 series is Death Aura. Or as some casters call it, Death Aura. No. No, I can't do it, man. Jagadatha is hard enough for me to pronounce. Death Aura is definitely, like, two separate, like, there's no space in, you get what I'm trying to say. Anyhow, let us see what ends up going down in this particular game. Do you think TY once again? No. He decides to go for a very quick gas. I was gonna say, do you think he feels brave enough once again to go for a very, very quick expansion on the low ground? Not gonna happen this time around. Ooh, okay. So this time around, it's gonna be Serral who's mixing things up. All right, so this is pretty much exactly what I was trying to explain in the previous game. This is one of those strategies where you go for a very quick link speed upgrade. Normally, actually, it's just to pull first into a hatch. In this case, though, he's just gonna go for the very quick Zergling speed upgrade. If, once again, TY decided to get really cheesy in this game, right? Then he decided to go ahead and, well, cheesy in the sense of economy, right? If he decided to go for a very quick CC on the low ground, he would just lose. Like, there's really no way that you would hold on against Zerglings with speed this early on. Luckily, though, for TY, none of that is happening. As a matter of fact, like I said, he already went for the very quick gas geyser over there. So we'll see where he decides to spend his resources. It's gonna be a reactor and then, I guess, a command center on the low ground. Do you need to gas that quick? Why do you need to gas that quick? I'm not sure. Is he gonna go for a factory right away? Is that what he's doing? I'm actually not entirely sure. Yeah, I guess that must be the case. Alright, so a couple Marines, then the switcheroo. Alright, yeah, that explains the really quick refinery. He does need those couple of Marines, though. If he decides to skip those, he's gonna be in some trouble. There's the second depot to complete the wall off. Alright, Jimmy comes up, and there's Martin. Already, though, Zerglings are here on the left side of the screen. Link speed is about a third or so of the way done. So Serral is on purpose hindering his own early game economy, just on the off chance that his opponent decides to get really cheeky. Alright. He could maybe try and get some work done right now, but I think he wants to commit to an attack when the link speed finishes. Sadly for him, though, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get there. Pretty much right around the same time that the Hellions spawn. Right? If he decides to switch them around right now, the Hellions are gonna be... Well, you don't want to get adventurous, TY. He's just scouting if there's like a proxy hatch or something, but... Yeah, I'm pretty sure link speed is gonna finish right around the same time as the first two Hellions. So, Jimmy, Martin, George, and David. Oh no. Here they are. The heroes of the Terran Dominion! Well... They've sacrificed their lives to buy time for the Hellions. The Hellions at the very least are out now, though. And that means that TY can start roaming the map. One thing that we sadly don't really see anymore from Terran is mech. So mech has really, really fallen out of favor recently. We used to see it quite a bit. You still occasionally see it on the StarCraft 2 ladder, but it seems like at the pro level, it's just not really something people do right now. It's a bit of a shame, though, because I've always been a fan of Terran mech. Maybe they'll have to do a small little balance patch to, like, maybe improve the units ever so slightly, but I'm not sure. Alright, so 1-1-1 is a follow-up here. Bailing Nest right now is a follow-up as well from Serral. Probably will go for the lair here relatively shortly. Doesn't really need to, but it's the safer move to make. Ooh. Okay. That's... okay, yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you go... So I'm immediately thinking ahead, if you go Ultralisks in the late game and this choke point is that tight, the Ultras would get stuck. Now, obviously, at that point in the game, you can easily just kill your own Evo Chamber and it'd be no problem at all. There's a medevac, by the way, but TY didn't decide to commit there with the links in the main base. There's the lair started up. Raven as the very first unit out of the starport. Well, second unit, I guess, out of the starport. Never mind. Curious. Second Raven as well? Hold up now. What's going on? 2 Ravens? What are you going to do with those? Ravens, okay, so Ravens have a bunch of skills, right? So they have the anti-armor missile, which is pretty good. Not so good against Zerg, though. There's the interference matrix, which is pretty good. Not so good against Zerg, though. There's the ability to detect creep, right? Which is, you know, that's pretty good. And lastly, there's, of course, the auto turret. Now, the auto turret is surprisingly strong. Especially when you don't see it a whole lot and you don't really know exactly how many units to commit against it. That being said, though, this is Serral. Right? Do I need to say more? Like, is he really going to take damage from auto turrets? Maybe. We'll find out, but... Hellions are threatening a run-by once again, but there's already Banelings. So here's the auto turret. This is a timed turret. Yeah, so now you're there. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, he's still got, like, a bunch of kills. 1 drone, 4 Zerglings. Not bad. Medevac drop over here on the left. They're dancing, guys. There's no Hellions inside of this medevac, so this is just a dance between the 2 different races. We can dance if we want to! They're strong, independent StarCraft units. Here's another auto turret. You know what? I actually don't mind the auto turret. No. I was thinking if he... Brenda and Karen, where are you guys going? I was thinking if you're, Now you're stuck up there, but I guess he occasionally can come in and put down one of those little auto turrets. Now, its days are numbered, though, because the Spire is about 40% of the way done. Very curious. Where's that second Raven? We've had 1 Raven, yes. What about second Raven? I like how my Monday videos tend to be... Like, they start off with Lowko being a little bit tired, right? I wake up early in the morning, get a bit of a workout in, I get some coffee, then I record a video, right? So they start off a little bit lower energy, and then by the end of it, things spiral out of control. Now we're singing and dancing. It's okay, though. We can dance if we want to. Here we go. 1-1 upgrade. Started up at the 7-minute mark. That's very late. Terrandel probably didn't start up his until like 6.5 minutes into the game. That's also likewise very, very late. No Fort CC. Just a whole lot of stuff. Brenda and Karen once again decided to start wandering off the creep. A little bit sloppy right there by Serral, to be completely frank with you. Can the auto turrets actually get the... Oh my god. Dude, auto turrets. Hell yeah. Nice. I mean, heck yeah. I meant Heckians. Look at the Heckians. Throwing away their Flammenwerfers. Alright. Anyways. Mutas are gonna be out, yeah. So far, it seems like Serral has tried to hide them. Spire was not spotted there. This is like a bit of a weird... Like, it's the most obvious location when you think about it. But it's also the location that Terrans basically never scan for. So, yeah. It's a very easy location to scout, but also really hard because no one scouts it. That made sense, right? Okay, perfect. Sadly here, even though Serral hit these units for quite some time, missile turrets are not gonna start up until right now, other than the one in the main base. You didn't really get the surprise factor in. So this is what I mean. I like this. So you go for 2 fourth locations. And if you have to cancel one, that's fine, because then you just transfer the units or the drones to the other side. Now TY is moving out. He hasn't seen the base up north, but he can probably smell it. Terran players have this uncanny ability to be able to smell out hatcheries. It's a very earthy, musty, you know. Right, yeah, there. The siege tank will get picked off as well. Units actually are dealing quite a bit of damage, and Terran's now making a beeline all the way back to the main base. Or T-line, rather. This T for Terran. And Terrazine. This is actually a lot of damage right now. Wow. Jokes aside, that's 13 SCVs, a siege tank, I think a medevac or 2, and then a whole bunch of Marines too. Has he lost any mutas? No. Like, he's lost a bunch of Zerglings, but honestly, guys, Zerglings, they think they're important, but they're easily replaced as well. Oh, he's gonna lose another tank. This is painful. That's a lot of siege tanks. 2. Well, I mean, depends on your definition of a lot, but I think it's quite a bit anyway. So +2, +2, +2 starts up for the Zerg. Terran does have the 4th base landed. Now he's going to morph that into a planetary. Normally, Terran can get maxed out by the time that they have 2-2 done. Wouldn't mind seeing an all-out assault at that point, but it's going to be very difficult because as soon as you leave your bases, Serral's going to be all over them. That's the real strength of this Mutaling Bane army, right? Like, it's super fast and super mobile. Now, what exactly can Terran do against those Mutalisks? Because those are super annoying. Well, obviously, they can go for Widow Mines, right? They can go for Marines. They can go for missile turrets. They can also go for Thors. So there's a bunch of units that actually do really quite well against it. But they all have one thing in common, and that is that something... Oh my god, that is that something has to be left behind. There's... Oh my god, if he gets that... Alright. Something has to be left behind if you want... Oh god. If you want to be dealing with the Mutalisks. And the Mutas, they can attack over here and then still be back home in time for dinner, right? They can still defend as well. So this is a... Yeah, very, very mobile unit. Very scary to properly play. Now look at this. Serral's showing his units right here on the sensor tower. Whereas there's an actual major army over here. I think that this force over here is just a distraction. Look at them. They're running away already. And now that he looks over at the 4th base, he's going to be able to evacuate the SCVs. But that expansion is dead. Oh, well, he could have killed probably a couple more. Mutas also snuck away through the main base, although it does look like maybe a few of them got bruised up. This is nice. This is nice for TY. Good job. Good job. Very nice job. Intercepts those Mutas on the retreat path. 7 right now have gone down in total. Already, though, the secondary 4th base. Now it's a tertiary right here on... Okay, no, that's definitely the 5th. Even though it's the 6th, it's definitely the 5th. This Terran army is still massive, though. 121 army supply versus 106. Anti-armor missile goes down as well. I was critical over there. Dude, I love the Ravens. Ravens are so cool. He probably saved himself a scan for it as well right now, right? So, like, that makes it already kind of worthwhile. He put on a bunch of pressure. Anti-armor missile basically makes it so the Zerg doesn't want to engage. Although, you know, you blink twice. Anti-armor missile is still active. The units are once more on the other side of the map. The Zerg swarm is relentless, man. Hive is coming up. +1 armor is coming up as well for these flying units. So Serral's not done with them yet. The tertiary 4th base, though, is going to be able to take those drones that seek refuge after their expansion got destroyed. That's okay. You guys can continue mining over here. Upgrade advantage once again, as pretty much always, in favor of the Terran player. He's trying to get a 5th base up. Oh my god. Pesky little Zergling. I've seen Terran move all of their units around the map for so many times already. Like, every single time TY is ready to go for a fight, it seems, he has to go and put out a fire at home. It's like me whenever I try to leave. I'm like, oh no, I forgot my keys. Oh no, I forgot my wallet. Ah, where's my scarf? I don't know where my scarf is. You know, I always forget stuff as well. I have to walk back into home every single time. Now there's Banelings! Oh my... What? Wow. TY magically managed to dodge pretty much all of those. Or, like, you know, you get what I'm trying to say. He doesn't know that they're there. Well, is that enough? No, it's not enough. Yeah. Serral wants the money shot. He wants the highlight video. This is for the highlight reel. Well. Yeah. It gets cleaned up, but I don't actually like that fight too much for the Zerg. I do like this for the Terran, assuming he's paying attention. He is. Very nice, very nice, very... No, whoa, not so nice, not so nice, not so nice. Good splits, but... Yeah, the base has been bruised up quite a bit. This hurts. Serral, please kill it, man. Oh my god, these are some massive Widow Mine hits, though. I feel like Serral is doing the Terran a favor right now by killing that planetary that's so heavily misplaced. These SCVs are taking like an extra 3 seconds every trip. Okay, so the base will go down. I feel like you have to fall back here as a Terran. You don't actually want to fight this. I really love how Serral always has army units ready to go and commit to the counterattack. He was actually expecting to see another base here, but it turns out it's on the high ground. Oh, Widow Mines! Okay. Luckily there for the Terran, he did get a hit in. This is also the moment, though, where mutas are kind of not as important anymore. I mean, you want to keep him alive, I suppose, but... he's losing him a little bit too freely, I think, now, though. At the same time, there is an army on the other side. I was questioning this move earlier. Look at the amount of things that are still all the way back there, but... TY has decided to move onto the creep. He lives here now. This is his place. This is a difficult location for Zerg to surround, right? Like, you can units... Or you can run units around, but... Then you have to go past the... You have to take a left turn. At the Planetary and the Widow Mines. Ultralisks are coming up. +3. And the Ultra Chitinous Plating upgrade will also finish up very shortly. That being said, until that upgrade is done, Ultras are paperweights. They're really bad. But it looks like the creep spread is still sophisticated enough here for the Terran to not be able to push on. Oh my god. I can't get over this. It has to be, like, there's a circle on the ground to indicate where the base can be centered, right? You can see how far off it is. Aye, aye, aye. That's all I can say. Banelings, by the way, still burrowed over there. This Thor is rotting dangerously low on health. A couple Widow Mines over here. Get him. Oh, no. Thought the Terran was gonna get him, but then the Banelings got him instead. Like, this would really bother me. If I was a Terran player, I would just, like... I would be shit-talking myself the whole time. This would really not be... Anyway. High ground base over here has been taken by Serral. Couple Widow... Or Banelings, rather. Widow Banes. The bane of every Terran's existence. Serral's looking for the money hits, man. He's not going to be doing this for $5. He needs at least 500. Can't blame him, to be honest. You got to know your worth, right? At the same time, though, Terran push over here will get pushed back, but I think that the high ground expansion... He's dodging those Widow Mine or those Baneling Mines without even knowing they're there. Anyhow. Yeah, I think that this base may be in some trouble here shortly, though. Oh, Ultra will get picked off there by a Hero Marauder, who just stands his ground on top of a couple of Banelings, killing an Ultralisk, killing everything else as well. Raven now showed up. It was the detector that he needed all this time. Dude, Ravens are really good. I was questioning the Raven earlier, but this bad boy now has 21 kills. Are you seeing this? Plus, it's been like... It saved him at least 3 scans. Yeah, it's really good. Wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the standard. Zerg doesn't have much of an army, though. He kills the base, which is, I guess, okay. But he doesn't have a bank, so he's gonna have to replace this. That being said, there are 6 Ultras just about to spawn. Which, yeah, they're pretty good. This is actually a really sick game right now. Terran's gonna max out on mech upgrades here very shortly, too, so that's always something you can keep in mind. Those stores don't mess around. I guess one big advantage of having that base so far away from the correct position is that it's gonna take a very long time before that money will run out, right? This is like a piggy bank expansion. You're not supposed to break it until like 10 minutes from now. Normally it takes like 10 minutes to mine out a base. That one's gonna take like 14. It's smart. It's a slow income base. This is the equivalent of buying index funds as a Terran player. Like having a bunch of bunkers ready to go that you're gonna salvage at some point just to get your money back somewhat. Oh my god. That's a lot of very low HP Ultralisks. Can you just kill them, please? Oh my god. Okay, well, Okay, reinforcing units are coming up. Ultras are being body blocked, actually. Dude, these Marauders are insane. Sadly there for TY, didn't quite get the kill on all of it, but these units, I mean, they apparently want to come back for more. Somehow, some way, Serral seems to be wiggling his way out of this, but this is an absolutely crazy battle, though. There's a medevac for each remaining Terran unit. That means that they will stay alive for a very long time. These Ultras are so low! Please kill him! Please kill the Ultras, dude! No! What are you doing? Oh my god, are you kidding me? That is so much supply that just got to walk away. Okay, Brenda, Karen, Margaret. You guys. There you go. The girls are back. This is, yeah, no, this is actually huge, though. Like, Ultras are very, very expensive units. Oh, couple Widow memes. Alright. I would love to see another, So Transfuse heals over time as well, right? So Serral, obviously, being Serral, he's not just gonna spam Transfuses. Oh, Widow Mine on the low ground. Alright. There you go. Yeah, he's he's optimizing it. He'll come back here in a minute again to use it too. Mutas, actually. Ooh. My god, how many Mutas? We're at 15 right now. Okay. 23 have gone down. 500 Zerglings? Oh my god. Finally, Serral's gonna do the Terran player the favor that I've been asking for a little while already. That base will be killed here, I think. This entire fight off creep would be a bit of a danger. The piggy bank is destroyed. What's TY gonna spend his money on? Oh, Ultras, nice. Good snipes. Very nice snipe. Kills the base as well. Base in the opposite corner of the map will be taken, or the opposite side. God, these guys are so good at StarCraft. Alright. Casual 500 APM. No biggie. So Terran actually still has this base down here, right? Like, these bases down below are super critical, and I don't really see Zerg dealing with those anytime soon. Zerg really only has a little bit remaining over here in the base up north. But he's also got the expansion over here on the left. Now, this is a little bit too ambitious. Does pick up right as the Ultra snipes go off, which is awesome. This is 14 SCVs going down, but I don't mind it anymore. Like, 14 SCVs is not that big a deal at this point. Although TY doesn't have that many workers anymore remaining, actually. I thought he had a little bit more than this. Still think it's fine, though. Yeah, those mules, they're really more important than anything else. Oh, my God. He didn't finish this off. This is, like, almost bad manners there. Almost. Okay. Slowly pushing forward, getting rid of all the creep spread. Once the creep is gone, good snipes. The Terran can start launching an assault towards that base. That being said, actually, this expansion only has 4 mineral patches remaining. The real lifeline right now of the Zerg is this one over here. At the same time, there's an infestor actually joining in as well with the fungal growth from the back. It's the Widow Mine. Well, it was dropped. It's going to burrow in a relatively random spot. It's going to get a couple kills. Does Zerg have enough right now, though, to push all of this back? It's mostly Marines remaining. Couple Marauders, but yeah. Marines actually do surprisingly well. One Ultra got split off from the rest to continue dealing some economic harassment here as well. Zerg doesn't have a whole lot of Lings and Banes anymore, and that means that these units can be stutter-stepped. Now, Ultras obviously have their Speedy Boy upgrade, which allows them to move a little bit faster off creep. Another Ultra got killed. Good splits right here as well by TY. But I think there might just be a little bit too much, and there it is. Serral forces his opponent to tap out of the game. GG is called, and with that, Serral obtains the victory over TY in a 3-0 fashion. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, as well as the little bell icon, so you get notified as soon as future content goes live. For now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile, and I'll see you once again in the next one.